What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Halving Report Podcast. We've taken a bit of a break over the summer, but we are officially back with lots of new content to come. We are on episode 68, and there are about 600 days left until the next Bitcoin halving. The price of Bitcoin is approximately $20,000 US. The Ethereum merge is about to happen on September 15th and will have happened by the time this episode has launched. We will discuss much more about the Ethereum merge later in today's episode. We are excited to announce a brand new partnership between the Halving Report and BitBuy. So go to bitbuy.ca/halving to sign up and get started with Canada's most reputable exchange, and we'll each give you an extra $20 after you make your first deposit of $250 or more when signing up through our link. Without further ado, let's welcome today's guest, Sonali Giovini of DefiYield, to the show. Hello, Sonali. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for coming on to the Halving Report Podcast.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me. This is really cool.
Yeah, so for the listeners that want some context here, you and I met at the Blockchain Futurist conference. How did you like the event?
The event was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome. That was actually the first time I think I've gone to a crypto event in Toronto. I feel like a lot of the crypto events I've been attending lately have been more like international, so like outside of Canada. And so I know it was really interesting, and I felt like I met a lot of people there, and it was pretty good.
Awesome. You did pretty good on the HODL bar, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah! Oh my God, that's so funny. I love that. That's how we met. I'm getting like a little fake tattoo on my arm, and then my next stop was the lift. The lift bar, and thank goodness you were there to like give me some claps in the background. Some support claps, but that was super fun. Did you go on it, by the way? Did you end up getting on it?
I did. I think I did better than I expected. I got a minute something. I'm not sure, but I was happy to make it over 1 minute.
Nice.
One of my teammates there, Todd, he got over 2 minutes. I was really confident in him. I thought he was going to win it for us.
Wow.
But it was a cool event. It was a cool game to do. It was a funny play on words, and I think next year I want to go back there, and I want to have something going on out there on the cabana like they did. That was pretty cool.
Totally. Yeah, there was a lot of like projects, that had like their own cabanas, and so that was like pretty cool. That was actually a really nice venue. What Tracy had for her Futurist event. And Untraceable. So yeah, that was like a great venue actually for a crypto event.
Yeah, I tip my hat to Tracy. It was an awesome event. And maybe just for some more context, maybe you could give yourself a brief introduction and where you're from and how you came to work in the crazy world of cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, no worries. So my name is Sonali Giovino, and I currently work as head of communications for a project called DefiYield. And so, how I started, in the crypto space is I started in 2017. And that's actually when I first started, I'd say, learning about crypto and educating myself about it, watching videos, and following different projects. And I think what happened was I just started to become like so fascinated by the crypto space, and it was just like it was just so interesting that there was this digital currency that wasn't that was being sort of framed as not being controlled by governments or by banks or any sort of like central organizations. And there was just something about that like really appealed to me because just because like the government and banks, they they just like to control everything. They like to have their hands in every single honeypot. And there is always something about like how the government, at any time, if they wanted to close your account, if they wanted to freeze your assets, they can do that, right? And at the end of the day, it's your word over theirs. And a lot of people get intimidated at the idea of being able to fight or fight the government. So I don't know, I just thought it was like really cool. I became super fascinated with it. And then I ended up just like absorbing a lot of information. So I ended up hosting my own crypto workshops in Vancouver, BC. So that's where I live and I'm from. And I just started holding like these meetup crypto workshops. Mostly I just called it like crypto 101 to educate people on like the fundamentals and on the basics of cryptocurrency, like who created it, where did it come from, what purpose does it serve, how do you find it, how do you buy and sell. And and I would just take people through like the fundamentals of that, and how much has been mined and released to the public, what kind of wallets are available, and what are some options for buying and selling. So yeah, it was a very popular workshop. I think I initially had room for like 30 people, like in terms of seats, but 30, 40 people. And then we had like 50 people show. So we had people that had to stand in the back, the room, because we didn't have enough seats. And but it was just like it really, what that showed me was how much of an interest there was from the public wanting to learn and simply just know more. But it also showed how so many people were keen to understand the basics and like, the fundamentals. I think people that, were maybe a little bit more savvy in the space, were probably mostly there just to connect with other people that had an interest in the topic. But it was really cool, so I don't know. After that, I also put on a conference, a blockchain conference in Vancouver.
Oh, you had your own conference.
Yeah, I put on like a Blockchain Yacht Cruise sort of conference where I showcased like 5 different industries that were trending in the blockchain space. So one industry was events, another industry was cannabis, another one was like smart contract, audits, and then there was others. Oh yeah, sorry, blockchain development. And it was great. Like I put together the team, the sponsorship packages, reached out to the companies, closed the sponsors, the vendors, put together a volunteer team to help out the day of the event. And it became a sold out event. It was really great.
That's why I like talking about people like you that are up on the trends in the blockchain space. And I try to divvy my time up between, where I see the community heading and where I see the community as a whole. And like sometimes that means talking a lot about Bitcoin and not some of the other innovations in the space. So, I'm happy to go to something like a blockchain conference, or people working on all sorts of different things. Could you tell us what the company you work for now, DefiYield? Can you tell us what DefiYield does?
Yeah. So I guess a little bit of how I started with DefiYield is I used to run my own sort of, I guess, my marketing agency. This was like in 2015. And one of my clients was a guy named Michael Rosmer. And he was a client of mine. And then when I eventually decided to move away and from that company and do other things, we became friends. And once I started getting into the crypto space, some time went by, and then all of a sudden I got a message from him, kind of out of the blue. And he just said, "Hey, how's it going? Nice to, chat with you again. So I'm working with a company that's in the DeFi space, and they're looking for, a marketing manager, or, they have a position open. curious if you'd be interested to apply. And so I thought like, wow, this would be great. And what's really funny is I had just started, got my real estate license at that time. And I was planning to like embark on the real estate space. And so when I, met with the founders and everything went well, and I got brought onto the team, it was really great. I ended up becoming head of communications for DefiYield. I think mostly because of my background in marketing and team management and that sort of thing, or project management. And it's been really great. So DefiYield, just to kind of share a little bit about like what DefiYield is, a little bit background on the project. So DefiYield is a DeFi, it's a cross-chain DeFi asset management dashboard. So it's essentially a place where users for anywhere in the world can come to, and they can connect their wallet, and it helps them keep track of their entire like DeFi portfolio. So, everything from liquidity pools to staking farms, vaults, and even NFTs. We're coming out with that also as well. So DefiYield's a pretty cool dashboard. Like I have to say, it's a very, advanced version, maybe of DBank. And I say advanced, just because it's really similar in maybe one aspect, because it's so much more than that. It's integrated with 25 different blockchains. It's also integrated with over 200 yield farming protocols. It helps users keep track of a lot of their DeFi assets. It's also tapped into historical data, so users can track their 24-hour profit and losses. And then we also just like make it easier for users to be able to find all of like the best yield farming opportunities, that are out there. So by simply just consolidating, all those opportunities onto the DefiYield dashboard. So users can come onto our dashboard and they can have access to all these like great DeFi protocols that, are built on, all various different blockchains. So yeah, it just makes it way easier for people to find these opportunities. And then we also have these like state-of-the-art security tools that alert users if there's any sort of like security threats, like in any of the, protocols, investments that they have. And so, I think one of the biggest ways to grow the user like adoption, in the DeFi space is to make it easier to find opportunities, and two, to help users stay safer so they're not, falling victim to these rug pulls, honeypots, and, a lot of these major hacks, that have been happening lately. So that's what we do.
Thanks for that explanation. Just to clarify, then you guys are integrated with all these other blockchain DeFi protocols, and you guys vet them before you integrate them for higher security purposes. So to help your basic user, your newbie getting into the space, kind of avoid those maybe malicious chains or malicious DeFi projects.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And have you guys ever, like, because that's a lot of, like, I think you said 120 farm yielding, and another, how many did you say? Another 24 chains right behind you there. And
we have 5 blockchains and over 100 yield farming protocols integrated, and our goal is to integrate 800 protocols by the end of this year.
800. Wow. And how long have you guys, when did you guys come into existence?
So the company was founded during like the summer of 2020. So that's like, also essentially known as the DeFi summer. And and so our founders, they met each other maybe like 10 years ago at an event. They've managed like multiple, digital projects together. And so then when they came together and they were, heavily engaged and investing in the DeFi space when DeFi was hot, right? And DeFi was hot during 2020. There were all these projects coming in. But so that was a really cool thing that was happening. But on a side note, there was also a lot of scams, like, starting to come out too. And so, and so I think, like, our founders, they realized, like, one, it was really challenging to find sometimes some of these, DeFi opportunities, because there wasn't like one place you could find them all. You had to like search for like each of them individually, sort of thing, and kind of hear about them through the grapevine. But then so that was something they noticed. And then as they were investing, our founders also like experienced for themselves what it was like to get wrecked, so they were invested in compounder finance, and they got unfortunately wrecked for like over $1 million. So it was a lot of money. And they were like just really keen on understanding the space better, and also investigating and wanting to obviously catch these people and not let them get away. But what this experience like really taught them was that the space, the DeFi space, was a great space, for people to really tap into some big opportunities. Like there was a lot of wealth building that was also happening, during this time. But there needed to be something that could help protect users, from getting scammed, from all these like scam projects. There had to be something in place in order to really grow, the crypto community and DeFi community. There needed to be something, just needed to be more security, to really protect users. And so that's how DefiYield was born. DefiYield was born with an inspiration to make it easier, for users to find the best opportunities in DeFi, that were out there, but also to create like, the top tools, security tools to help users stay safe. So that's why, like, right now, DefiYield, we actually, we're rated as having the world's largest audit and rec database. And that's all on DefiYield. So often like TechCrunch and Yahoo Finance, Forbes, and a lot of media publications have mentioned us and have interviewed us, because they use our audit and rec database as a resource whenever they're reporting on different rec events, like the Harmony, Wormhole, Nomad Bridge, these different things. So that's just one of the security tools that we have. It's completely free for users to access and use. And then we also have the Shield, which is alerts users of any security threats that are detected in their portfolio. Mm-hmm. And we give users the option to revoke right from the DefiYield dashboard. And we're also coming out with a Chrome extension security tool that will scan opportunities that you're browsing and looking at, and it'll let you know the security rating and status of each.
That sounds like a pretty comprehensive tool set that you guys are building there. And, more security in this space is exactly what we need, and helping people, and having that inspiration to protect users is certainly something I think everyone in the community can appreciate. Now, you said it's a Canadian company, but you operate internationally. Did I get that right?
No, I'm in, and then so the company itself is based out of Dubai.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so just the whole team is remote. Mm-hmm. It's we have some team members in Dubai, but our team is Canada, US, London, Europe. Yeah.
Okay. And so say I want to sign up for DefiYield. I wanted to get started. How would I go about that? Or what do I need?
Yeah. So, so it's really simple. So you would just go to DefiYield.App, in your browser. And so once you go there, you just connect your wallet. We're connected with a number of different wallets, for each chain, each blockchain. So we provide users with, a variety of options to make it easy and user friendly for them. And so once you connect your wallet, then you'll want to connect. So once you connect your wallet, you'll now be inside the DefiYield dashboard. And we also have something called bundle wallets. It's on the top left upper hand corner. It says something that says bundle. And when you click on that, you can actually bundle multiple wallets. So that way you can see multiple wallets at once. So maybe you want to see, all the wallets you have across all of the different chains. So you can do that. So you can add every single wallet you have. So you can view them all, but you can also customize, you can also customize that so that if you want to just see your Cardano, Kava, and maybe Ethereum wallet only, then you can just bundle those 3 wallets. And so you can have, as many customized views as you like. So
very cool. Sonali, what do you like to do outside of work, outside of crypto?
I don't know. Outside of crypto, I really like being out of the house because I'm indoors a lot when I'm working. So, I just love getting out of the house. I love spending time with friends. I love going to the beach. I love going to music festivals. I love going for hikes and checking out beautiful, awesome nature spots. And I love spending time with friends and building a community that feels like a family. And so I love to do that. I would say outside of work.
And you're super integrated into this community. Where do you see the space in 5 years from now? Do you think what major changes do you see, or if any?
In this space, I see more projects becoming like cross-chain, compatible. Because I think that's the only, best way to go, because there's just so many chains coming out. And I think that's really, important. And I think like things like, what's happening with, the ETH merge and, Cardano Basel fork is to, to really help these, chains and projects become more interpol. Sorry, I can never say that word. Right. But it's just to make them just more adaptable to be compatible across various different chains and networks. So I think that's, honestly, that's where I see this space going. And I think just, we need to make it just easier for users to explore these opportunities. I feel like less is more. So less clicks, the better. And the more we can integrate and streamline, I think the better that's going to be for everyone.
So you mentioned the Ethereum merge, which is coming up, I think, in just a couple of days here, and was obviously a big topic at the Blockchain Futures conference in Toronto. Do you see an immediate price reaction? Do you think this is buy the rumor, sell the news? Do you think we'll see, things happening, a few months down the road, or what are your thoughts around that?
I see that. I feel like there's going to be like a price rise. There's a lot of people that are getting really excited and, and looking forward to this. But I also see that like I feel like there's a lot of, in terms of the protocol and project development around the ETH merge, I think that's going to take some time. I don't think that's going to be immediate. So I think we're going to have to, give things a little bit of time for a lot of these projects to now, kind of adapt, to the merge and, work on their developments. I really see that it's also going to help support for scalability and also speed in terms of, the transactions. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited of, some of the opportunities and doors that's going to open up.
Absolutely. As an Ethereum holder, I'm also very excited to see what happens, and hopefully our fees can come down, and I can make some transactions on chain that aren't going to cost me an arm and a leg. When you want to dive a little bit deeper into the space, where do you like to go? Do you have any favorite books, any favorite resources?
I mean, personally, like in terms of books, one thing I also wanted to mention is that so DefiYield actually has an Amazon best-selling book that they're the author of. It's called The Wall Street Era is Over. It's by DefiYield founders. And it's a great book. It's actually incredible. It dives into like into like pure background and education and history of like DeFi, everything from like how it started to what were some of the first projects to like hit the scene, what were some of the first projects to even start the DeFi trend, catch on, and understanding what do some scam projects look like, and how did they scam people. They dive into the nuts and bolts of that because they studied them. And so that's a great book. So I've read that like several times because I feel when you're reading this stuff, sometimes it can be a bit complicated and like techie, and that, I'm not like super technical. So sometimes I need to like read something or watch something a few times just to like, by the third time, I'm like absorbing completely new stuff from the first time. So, but yeah, like, I like taking a look at just videos that are available. I was watching a video earlier today and yesterday by Coin Bureau, on the Basel fork. They seem like, they're a great resource. And then, DefiYield, we have our own educational resource as well. So we have our own YouTube channel. We put out content every day on like, educating users on how to navigate different DeFi projects, protocols, how to make their first deposits, how to start farming. We interview a lot of the different blockchains and founders of, some of the top projects. So, we're all about education and helping users, better understand, everything they could possibly need to know about how to navigate the space.
Awesome. Sonali, I'm going to open it up to you. If you have any final comments, words of wisdom, if not, maybe you can just let us know where to follow you and learn more.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. I would say like words of wisdom is like, it's DeFi is a huge space, I have to say. Like, just working in this space, I feel like I'm sometimes blown away with how much is going on in this space. Like, it's mind blowing. There's so many projects, that are involved and are also being developed, as we speak. So I'd say like, my words of wisdom is don't wait, don't sit around and watch your friend, all the fun. Really just like Google, read, watch videos, learn as much as you can, play around. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Obviously invest what you're willing to lose, because, it's sometimes maybe it's okay to experience your first wreck, hopefully with not losing, a lot of money or a lot of investment. But it's more just so you can understand the space, what, all the kind of ins and outs. But my words of wisdom is a great way to get familiar with DeFi is go on over to DefiYield, connect your wallet, check out all the different DeFi opportunities that are out there. Start playing, start exploring, watch videos, ask questions. And for information on how to follow us, you can check us out on Telegram, DefiYield DefiYield official community. And we're always spitting out like fresh content every day. And if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter as well. That's just going to be Sonali Giovino on Twitter. And and we just invite everybody to come join us on the journey, on the movement, on the momentum. You know, all DeFi projects and blockchains are part of our community as well. You know, it's kind of a big family, and we're here to support, everyone in the space.
Well, thank you for giving that explanation and the words of wisdom. I'll definitely include all those links down in the show notes for the podcast. Am I going to see you next year at the Toronto Blockchain Futures Conference?
Yeah, I think so. Why not? Let's keep a good.
All right. Exactly. Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks again, Sonali, for doing this today. I'll certainly be in touch, and I hope you have a good rest of your night.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here, and hope to see you soon. For now.
Thank you all for listening to the Halving Report podcast. Please like and subscribe to the show. Check out the show notes below, share it with a friend, and we'll see you back next time.